And Coach, while we wait on any questions, if you could please take a minute to comment on your team as you enter the season opener on Saturday.
Yes, thank you. Very excited to go to Little Rock and play Western Carolina. They have a really fine team. They have a lot of respect for Coach Bell. Certainly have set there were some offensive records there on total yards and touchdown passes a year ago. Play an aggressive style. Got some really good players. Good offensive line, good defensive line. Going to be a very hard-fought game, and we're excited to go over and take our team to the central part of the state and play at War Memorial Stadium.
First up, we have Tom Murphy of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette.
Good morning, Sam. Hey, you touched on this a little bit on Monday maybe, but I'm wondering your expectations for the different offense and the efficiency you plan to have this season with Dan Enos.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've had, we hired Dan back in January, I believe, and, so we've had him here a long time. We had, obviously, the rules have allowed us to do a few more walks and things of that nature. We had spring ball with him and T. Will. I think if we didn't play well, it would be more of an excuse than reality. We've had plenty of time to get our team together, and I expect us to play well.
But just from an efficiency standpoint, like expecting to be more efficient offense, third downs and stuff.
Well, yes, as you well know, that's been a huge emphasis for us. Not just third down, but fourth down, goal line, coming out, all those situations, as well as defense getting off the field on third down. All those things, pass defense. Certainly, we had to get a lot better. We had to get a lot better at everything, but those were the key emphasis, along with some special teams. We got to get some big plays into special teams and play consistent. And so all those, yes, they all have been emphasized for us, and hopefully it pays off for us. Obviously, if you emphasize something, it usually does.
Gotcha. Hey, and just real quick, from the injury standpoint, you got anybody like it seems like Jashad Stewart's been out for a while. Will anybody, Antonio Greer, anybody miss this game, you think?
It's really hard to say. We do have some guys, as you know, are out for the year. I would look for. I don't know about Stu. I don't know if he'll be able to play. Malik Chavis might be in that same boat with a finger issue, with a hand issue. But other than that, Tom, who else did you say?
Antonio Greer. I saw he's been back.
Yeah, Greer. I expect Greer to be able to play.
Thanks, Sam.
Next, we'll go to Mike Griffith of AJC Dog Nation. Mike, are you there?
Yes, thank you. Coach, I wanted to ask you an NIL question. I know recruiting never stops, and you're obviously regarded as one of the best in this area in the country at all your stops and now at Arkansas. About NIL rules and student athletes that sign in state and get NIL money, do you think this is effective in helping the state? And do you think this at all, I guess, I don't know, threatens, but goes against the whole level playing field concept that we've heard Commissioner Sankey talk about at some of the meetings?
Well, I don't know that there is a level playing field. I mean, if there was, we would have some type of rule say this is how much someone's capped at. So I don't know if it's level. The state rule to me was more about consequences to someone tampering with your players on your team. Was a little bit more about that than even being allowed to have to earn name, image, and likeness money when you're in high school. Mine was more concerning about tampering with guys on the team and the penalties that could come from that. But it's a mess, and it's here with us, and I think everybody's getting used to it a little bit more as it goes now. But I'm all for the kids to be able to earn money off of their name, image, and likeness. But I don't think there's anything level about it.
If I could follow up with a quick question, Coach, we've seen that the Big Ten has legislated that availability reports come out a couple hours before kickoff in the interest of maybe curbing some of the gambling activities or discouraging people from maybe pressuring student athletes for availability reports on their teammates or relatives, etc. Would that be something that you think that the SEC should look at adapting? I know that Brian Kelly at LSU is doing that currently.
Well, personally, it wouldn't bother me. I mean, if they want to know exactly what our injury report was, you're going to find it out before the game anyway. If you come if you're at the game, you're going to find out because you're going to see who's suited out and who's not, and who's limping and who isn't. But I understand that, and if it would help our players not get needled for information, I'd be all for it.
Thanks, Coach.
Next, we'll go to Jackson Fuller of the Southwest Times Record.
Hey, Sam. Good morning. Yesterday when we talked to some of your players, they emphasized how important it would be to start fast against Western Carolina, especially, given some of the struggles against Missouri State last year. Is there any way you can coach that in practice? How do you try and make sure your fall camp, your practices eventually lead to fast starts when the lights go on?
Well, one of the things we do is we've started doing physical activity right after stretch. So it could be a bubble type drill. It could be a team drill in fastball starts. Some of those things that we did maybe every other day last year, we're doing them every day this year. We are concerned, obviously, about starting fast against Western Carolina, but we need to start fast against everybody. So, again, it's part of the emphasis that we've done, and hopefully it'll pay off for us. But I think it's some type of something physical other than just Indy before you go to Indy is what our ideal has been, and hopefully it pays off for us.
Thanks, Coach.
Next, we'll go to Steve Moulton of WZZN.
Hey, Coach. Hope you're doing well.
Yes, sir.
I was hoping you could speak to your offensive line. What have you seen out of that group this fall, Coach?
I like the group. I think we have enough older guys, leadership with Brady and Bo. I like our tackles. That doesn't mean that they've had game experience, but I do like them. I think that we got to where we are very comfortable with 8 guys. I think we'll play more guys this year than what we have in the past. I don't think there's a great division between the starter and the second team and maybe 3 of our areas up front. And so I think we can grow our O-line. Obviously, you play a few more, the room seems to be happier and things of that nature. But I think we're very talented at tackle. We're not proven. And Andrew Chamblee, I believe, has come a long way. When he took to his opportunity when Devin Manuel got hurt for a while, he's back now. But I think it did help us create some depth with Wiggins, and obviously Tykees Crawford has come into his own this year. And so I like the group. I do think we're at least 8 deep. We're trying to obviously get to 10. But I do think we've got 8 players that we can go in there and feel real comfortable putting on the field.
Thank you, Coach.
Coach, we'll wrap you up with Ryan Hunt of AP and Kelly Show.
Coach Pittman, your offensive line units have gained a reputation for their strong performances. What coaching techniques or strategies have contributed most to developing a dominant offensive line, and how do you instill those principles into your players?
Well, first of all, good question. Cody Kennedy and I worked together for Kirby Smart at Georgia, and his beliefs coaching the offensive line are pretty much identical to mine. I can remember doing clinics as an O-line coach a long time ago, and I would be, well, our technique's slightly different than seems like most people. We talk about down shoulder 1 versus 2. Basically, we're trying to tackle them without wrapping them up. That becomes from my experience of playing defense, near leg, near shoulder type techniques. And then I found out it worked, and then people wanted to know a little bit about it. And so we do have, we're a little bit different than some other teachings, but it seemed, we've obviously had really good players, so it helps in that as well. Learned a lot from Jim Chaney when I was the offensive line coach at Arkansas, Georgia, and he was really a good mentor of mine too. But we have our own unique way of coaching, and for the most part, it has been successful for us. And so I'm glad I have Cody Kennedy here that believes in the same thing I do.
Perfect. Thank you, Coach.
It's going to wrap you up, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.